Hi, welcome to the quiz. You will be presented with multiple choice questions, each displayed on screen for a short time before the answer is provided to you. Please make sure to attempt answering all the questions. Quizzes help us to reinforce our knowledge, identify areas where we need to focus more, and improve our overall performance. Taking quizzes can also help to increase retention and make the learning process more engaging and enjoyable. With that out of the way, keep track of your scores as we go along so that you can share your results by writing a comment at the end. Let's get started. Good luck. How does a hybrid cloud contribute to overcoming resource constraints? By leveraging both on-premises and cloud resources. By exclusively relying on on-premises resources. By depending on a single data center. By limiting access to cloud services. Hybrid clouds overcome resource constraints by leveraging both on-premises and cloud resources, providing flexibility and scalability. What is a key consideration when adopting a public cloud deployment model? Limiting data encryption. Data sovereignty and compliance. Avoiding any external dependencies. Relying solely on on-premises infrastructure. Data sovereignty and compliance are crucial considerations to ensure that data is stored and processed in compliance with applicable laws and regulations. How does a multi-cloud deployment support business continuity? By relying solely on on-premises infrastructure for business continuity. By reducing the impact of outages with resources from multiple providers. By exclusively relying on a single provider for business continuity. By avoiding cloud resources altogether. A multi-cloud deployment supports business continuity by reducing the impact of outages, utilizing resources from multiple cloud providers. What is a key characteristic of a hybrid cloud deployment model? Exclusive use of on-premises infrastructure. Public accessibility only. Integration of on-premises and cloud resources. Shared infrastructure with other organizations. A hybrid cloud integrates on-premises and cloud resources, providing flexibility and a balance between control and scalability. What does the term serverless mean in the context of the public cloud? Utilizing dedicated server instances. Maintaining a traditional server infrastructure. Running applications on physical servers. Executing code without managing servers. Serverless computing allows developers to execute code without the need to manage the underlying servers, enabling a more abstract and efficient approach. How does a hybrid cloud contribute to cost optimization? By charging fixed monthly fees for resources. By limiting access to cloud services. By allowing dynamic resource scaling based on demand. By relying solely on on-premises infrastructure. Hybrid clouds enable dynamic resource scaling based on demand, optimizing costs by utilizing on-premises and cloud resources as needed. What is a common use case for a private cloud deployment model? Regulatory compliance requirements. Unrestricted public access. Minimal security concerns. Temporary resource needs. Private clouds are often chosen to meet regulatory compliance requirements, ensuring that data is handled in accordance with relevant regulations. How does the public cloud enhance data security? By relying solely on users for security. By limiting encryption options. By providing robust security measures. By isolating data on local servers. Public cloud providers implement robust security measures, including encryption, access controls, and monitoring to enhance data security. How does a multi-cloud deployment support innovation for organizations? By relying solely on on-premises infrastructure. By minimizing access to cloud services. By exclusively using services from a single provider. By leveraging diverse services and features from different providers. A multi-cloud deployment supports innovation by allowing organizations to leverage diverse services and features from different cloud providers. How does the private cloud contribute to resource customization? Predefined resource allocations. Limited configuration options. Tailored configurations based on organizational needs. Standardized configurations for all users. Private clouds allow organizations to tailor configurations based on their specific needs, providing flexibility and customization. How does a private cloud contribute to meeting specific regulatory requirements? By limiting access to data. By using public cloud resources. By providing control over data handling practices. By relying on external regulatory bodies. Private clouds enable organizations to have control over data handling practices, facilitating compliance with specific regulatory requirements. What is a characteristic of the data integration in a multi-cloud environment? Storing data without integration in on-premises infrastructure. Exclusively using data from a single cloud provider. Integrating data seamlessly across different cloud providers. Avoiding cloud resources altogether for data storage. Data integration in a multi-cloud environment involves seamlessly integrating data across different cloud providers to ensure interoperability and collaboration. What is an advantage of using a hybrid cloud for data backup? Combining on-premises and cloud storage for redundancy. Excluding encryption for backup data. Limiting access to cloud storage. Relying solely on on-premises storage for backup. Hybrid clouds allow organizations to combine on-premises and cloud storage for data backup, providing redundancy and flexibility. What is a characteristic of the resource redundancy in a multi-cloud deployment? Exclusively using a single provider for all resources. Sharing resources with other organizations. Duplicating resources across multiple cloud providers. Relying solely on on-premises infrastructure for redundancy. Resource redundancy in a multi-cloud deployment involves duplicating resources across multiple cloud providers to enhance availability and resilience. What is a characteristic of the resource management in a hybrid cloud? Using cloud resources only for development and testing. Balancing workloads between on-premises and cloud resources. Exclusively using on-premises resources. Dependence on a single data center. Resource management in a hybrid cloud involves balancing workloads between on-premises and cloud resources to optimize performance and cost. How does a multi-cloud strategy contribute to avoiding vendor lock-in? By using services from multiple providers. By exclusively using services from a single provider. By relying solely on on-premises infrastructure. By avoiding cloud resources altogether. A multi-cloud strategy avoids vendor lock-in by using services from multiple cloud providers, allowing organizations to choose the most suitable services. What is a key characteristic of the public cloud deployment model? Hybrid integration. On-demand self-service. Multiple cloud providers. Private infrastructure. In the public cloud, Users can provision and manage resources as needed without human intervention, known as on-demand self-service. What is a benefit of using a public cloud infrastructure? Isolation from the internet. Fixed resource capacity. Complete control over hardware. Cost-effectiveness. Public cloud services often provide a pay-as-you-go model, allowing users to pay for only the resources they consume, making it cost-effective. What is a benefit of using a multi-cloud strategy for performance optimization? Optimizing performance by leveraging the strengths of different providers. Exclusively relying on a single provider for performance. Minimizing network connectivity for better performance. Relying solely on on-premises infrastructure for performance. A multi-cloud strategy optimizes performance by leveraging the strengths and capabilities of different cloud providers for specific workloads. What is an advantage of using a public cloud platform for development and testing? Isolation from external services. Resource scalability. Fixed resource allocation. Limited internet connectivity. Public cloud platforms provide the flexibility to scale resources up or down based on the development and testing needs, optimizing efficiency and costs. What is an essential feature of a public cloud platform for supporting scalability? Limited user access. Auto-scaling capabilities. Fixed resource limits. Manual resource allocation only. Auto-scaling capabilities in a public cloud platform automatically adjust resource capacity based on demand, supporting scalability without manual intervention. What is a disadvantage of using a private cloud deployment model? Dependence on third-party providers. Limited control over resources. Shared infrastructure among multiple organizations. Higher initial setup and maintenance costs. Private clouds may incur higher initial setup and maintenance costs compared to public clouds. What is a common use case for adopting a multi-cloud strategy? Exclusively relying on a single cloud provider. Utilizing on-premises resources only. Minimizing network connectivity. Avoiding vendor lock-in. Adopting a multi-cloud strategy helps organizations avoid vendor lock-in, giving them flexibility to choose services that best meet their needs. What is a characteristic of a private cloud deployment model? Dedicated infrastructure for a single organization. Publicly accessible resources. Limited control over resources. Shared infrastructure among multiple organizations. In a private cloud, the infrastructure is dedicated to a single organization, providing greater control and customization. How does the private cloud address concerns related to data governance? By relying on third-party data governance. By storing data in a public cloud. By providing control over data location and processing. By limiting encryption options. Private clouds provide organizations with control over the location and processing of their data, addressing concerns related to data governance. What is a common deployment model for achieving high availability in the public cloud? On-premises deployment. Multi-region deployment. Single-instance deployment. Static deployment. Deploying resources across multiple regions helps ensure high availability by minimizing the impact of failures in a specific region. What is a benefit of using a hybrid cloud for disaster recovery? Reduced control over data. Improved resilience and redundancy. Dependence on a single data center. Limited scalability options. Hybrid clouds provide improved resilience and redundancy, allowing organizations to leverage both on-premises and cloud resources for disaster recovery. What is a benefit of using a multi-cloud approach for risk management? Increased dependence on a single cloud provider. Limited resource scalability options. Exclusively relying on on-premises resources. Reduced dependency on a single cloud provider. A multi-cloud approach reduces the dependency on a single cloud provider, mitigating risks associated with provider-specific issues or outages. What is a characteristic of the private cloud's approach to data storage? Data stored in shared storage with other organizations. Data stored without encryption. Data stored on public servers. Data stored in dedicated, isolated storage systems. Private clouds typically store data in dedicated and isolated storage systems, ensuring privacy and security. How does a multi-cloud deployment contribute to cost optimization? By relying solely on on-premises infrastructure. By leveraging competitive pricing from different providers. By limiting access to cloud services. By exclusively using resources from a single provider. A multi-cloud deployment allows organizations to leverage competitive pricing from different providers, optimizing costs based on specific services and pricing models. How does a hybrid cloud support application portability? By restricting applications to a single environment. By relying solely on on-premises infrastructure. By limiting access to cloud resources. By allowing applications to run in both on-premises and cloud environments. Hybrid clouds support application portability by allowing applications to run in both on-premises and cloud environments, providing flexibility. What is a consideration when planning capacity in a private cloud? Fixed resource capacity for all scenarios. Limited need for capacity planning. Scalability to accommodate future growth. Minimal need for resource monitoring. Planning capacity in a private cloud involves considering scalability to accommodate future growth and changing resource requirements. How does a multi-cloud approach contribute to global reach for organizations? By exclusively using services from a single regional provider. By utilizing cloud providers with global data center presence. By limiting access to cloud services. By relying solely on on-premises infrastructure. A multi-cloud approach contributes to global reach by utilizing cloud providers with a global data center presence, enabling organizations to serve users in different regions. How does the public cloud contribute to business continuity? By limiting backup options. By excluding disaster recovery options. By providing data redundancy. By relying on a single data center. Public cloud services often include features such as data replication and backups, contributing to business continuity in case of unexpected events. How does a hybrid cloud contribute to compliance with industry regulations? By limiting access to data. By providing control over data handling practices. By storing data exclusively in a public cloud. By relying on third-party data governance. Hybrid clouds provide organizations with control over data handling practices, contributing to compliance with industry regulations. What is a characteristic of the data replication in a hybrid cloud for disaster recovery? Relying on a single data center for replication. Exclusively using on-premises data replication. Replicating data between on-premises and cloud environments. Limiting data replication to the public cloud. Data replication in a hybrid cloud for disaster recovery involves replicating data between on-premises and cloud environments to ensure redundancy and availability. What is a common use case for a hybrid cloud deployment? Extending on-premises infrastructure to the cloud. Avoiding cloud resources altogether. Exclusively using cloud resources. Hosting all workloads on-premises. Hybrid clouds are often used to extend on-premises infrastructure to the cloud, allowing organizations to scale resources as needed. How does the private cloud differ from the public cloud in terms of resource ownership? Owned and operated by a single organization. Shared ownership among multiple organizations. Managed by a third-party provider. Publicly owned and operated. Private clouds are owned and operated by a single organization, providing exclusive control over resources. What is a characteristic of workload distribution in a multi-cloud environment? Avoiding cloud resources altogether. Balancing workloads across multiple cloud providers. Exclusively using a single cloud provider for workloads. Assigning all workloads to on-premises infrastructure. In a multi-cloud environment, workloads are balanced across multiple cloud providers to optimize performance and resource utilization. What is a characteristic of the network connectivity in a hybrid cloud? Shared network with other organizations. Limited communication between on-premises and cloud environments. Open access to the public network. Secure and seamless communication between environments. Hybrid clouds facilitate secure and seamless communication between on-premises and cloud environments, ensuring efficient networking. What is an advantage of using a private cloud for mission-critical applications? Reduced security controls. Public accessibility. Enhanced security and control. Limited scalability options. Private clouds provide businesses with complete control over their infrastructure, allowing them to implement robust security measures and restrict access to authorized personnel. How does the hybrid cloud address data sovereignty concerns? By storing data in a public cloud only. By limiting access to data. By allowing organizations to choose data storage locations. By relying on third-party data governance. Hybrid clouds enable organizations to choose data storage locations, addressing concerns related to data sovereignty and compliance. What is a consideration for managing security in a multi-cloud environment? Ensuring consistent security policies across providers. Relying solely on provider-specific security measures. Limiting security measures to a single provider. Excluding encryption for data in transit. Managing security in a multi-cloud environment involves ensuring consistent security policies across different cloud providers to maintain a unified and effective security posture. What is a characteristic of the network isolation in a private cloud? Restricted access to authorized users. Limited network connectivity. Open access to the public. Shared network with other organizations. Network isolation in a private cloud restricts access to authorized users, enhancing security and preventing unauthorized access. How does a multi-cloud approach enhance resilience for applications? By avoiding cloud resources altogether. By distributing workloads across multiple cloud providers. By relying solely on on-premises infrastructure. By using a single cloud provider for all workloads. A multi-cloud approach enhances resilience by distributing workloads across multiple cloud providers, reducing the impact of potential outages or disruptions. What deployment model allows an organization to have both on-premises and private cloud infrastructure? Public cloud deployment. On-premises deployment. Hybrid cloud deployment. Multi-cloud deployment. A hybrid cloud deployment model involves integrating on-premises infrastructure with private and/or public cloud resources. What is a characteristic of a multi-cloud deployment model? Relying solely on on-premises infrastructure. Utilizing services from multiple cloud providers. Exclusively using services from a single cloud provider. Sharing resources with other organizations. In a multi-cloud deployment, organizations use services from multiple cloud providers to leverage diverse features and avoid vendor lock-in. How does the public cloud support global reach for applications? By restricting access to specific regions. Through a distributed network of data centers. By relying on a single data center. By utilizing on-premises servers. Public cloud providers operate a distributed network of data centers globally, enabling applications to be deployed and accessed from various regions. What is a characteristic of the pay-as-you-go pricing model in the public cloud? Charging a fixed monthly fee. Charging based on actual usage. Charging for unlimited resource access. Charging only for storage. The pay-as-you-go pricing model in the public cloud charges users based on their actual resource consumption, providing flexibility and cost control. What is a characteristic of the self-service capability in a private cloud? Manual resource provisioning by IT only. Fixed resource capacity for all users. Users can provision resources without IT intervention. Limited resource allocation options. Self-service in a private cloud enables users to provision resources without the need for direct IT intervention, promoting agility. How does a hybrid cloud support workload flexibility? By allowing workloads to move between on-premises and cloud environments. By relying solely on on-premises infrastructure. By limiting access to cloud resources. By restricting workloads to a single environment. Hybrid clouds allow workloads to move seamlessly between on-premises and cloud environments, providing flexibility based on workload requirements. What is a consideration when implementing security measures in a hybrid cloud? Limiting security measures to the public cloud. Excluding encryption for data in transit. Relying solely on on-premises security measures. Ensuring consistent security policies across environments. Security measures in a hybrid cloud should ensure consistency across on-premises and cloud environments to maintain a unified and effective security posture. How does a multi-cloud strategy contribute to data sovereignty compliance? By relying on third-party data governance. By allowing organizations to choose data storage locations. By storing data in a public cloud only. By limiting access to data. A multi-cloud strategy allows organizations to choose data storage locations, helping address data sovereignty concerns and comply with regulations. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more and hit the bell icon to be notified as soon as we upload. Please leave a comment if you have any thoughts or suggestions, and if you think this video is worth sharing with someone who could benefit from it, please forward a link to them. See you next time. Thanks for watching.